Good morning, all. Today we have to conduct our third practical on strength of material lab. We already completed our two practical. First one is the study of universal testing machine, and second one is our the strength of wooden beam. Okay, means the bending strength of wooden beam. So we applied some gradual load on the wooden piece, and after some time, due to some gradual load, that wooden beam is break suddenly from the center of the beam. Okay. So now our third practical is totally different. In second practical, we use wooden piece. Now I am taking here mild steel bar. So we all know the strength of steel as well as the strength of concrete. Okay. If we'll use the reinforced cement concrete is for construction material. Okay. So RCC is the main material can use for the construction. So RCC means what? Reinforced cement concrete. Okay. So reinforced cement concrete, it consists of some concrete part as well as some reinforcement part. Okay. So concrete is very strong in compression. Means if we will apply some force, so compressive force will balance with the help of concrete. Okay. But reinforcement always will carry the tensile force. Okay. Means tensile force, that is tensile strength. Clear? So whenever we will apply the reinforcement in concrete, so whatever the tensile force acting on the concrete, that will balance with the help of reinforcement. Okay. So here in this practical, we have to calculate the tensile strength of the reinforcement. Okay. Instead of reinforcement, now I am taking one simple mild steel bar. Okay. So this is the diagram of the mild steel bar. Okay. The testing sample means the diameter of the testing sample of mild steel bar is 12 mm. Okay, so diameter is our 12 mm for testing sample, and we have to take the gauge length. What do you mean by gauge length? Gauge length means the if you are taking this is the sample, okay, and if this is the center line of the sample, means this is the exact center of the sample of mild steel bar. Okay, so gauge length means what? Some distance is equal from left hand side as well as right hand side. Okay, the distance between these both the red lines called as gauge length. Okay, so this gauge length is depend on the diameter. Okay, and this gauge length is always going to take the 5 times the diameter of the mild steel bar. Okay, so in this case our mild steel diameter is something 12 mm. So what is the gauge length here? We have to take gauge length is 5 multiplied by 12, that is 60 mm. Okay, if we are taking different sample of 16 mm diameter, in that case what is the gauge length? 16 multiplied by 5, that is 80 mm. Okay, but now we will perform our practical on 12 mm diameter bar. So what is our gauge length? Gauge length is 60 mm. Okay, so here if this is the center line of the bar and our gauge length is 60 mm, so we have to take 30 mm towards left hand side and 30 mm towards right hand side. Means the distance between these both the red lines is our 60 mm, and this 60 mm nothing but our gauge length. Okay. Now what is the main aim in our this practical? We have to calculate the tensile strength of the mild steel bar. Okay, means we are checking the property of some material. Okay, so already we completed our some topic based on this strength, that strength, stress, strain. Okay, modulus of elasticity. Okay, that all the concept we will use here. Clear? What do you mean by stress? Stress nothing but the force upon area, not a force, resisting force offering by the material divided by area, that is called as stress. What is the unit of that? Newton per mm square. Okay, what do you mean by strain? Strain nothing but the change of length divided by original length. Okay, so in this case if you have to calculate the strain for this mild steel bar, what is the original length of the sample? Is 60 mm. Okay, what is the original length? 60 mm. After applying this sample on the UTM, and if we apply some gradual force or gradual load, okay, so after some time it will fail. So we can measure the elongated length, okay, with the help of vernier scale, and easily we can calculate the value of strain. Means change of length we can measure it, and original length already we have, that is 60 mm. So we can calculate again strain also. Clear? Now nextly very important, this graph. This graph we are using for our modulus of elasticity. What do you mean modulus of elasticity? Up to certain limit, okay, up to certain limit, stress is directly proportional to the strain. Stress is directly proportional to the strain. Okay, so stress is directly proportional to strain. So in that case, we have to take one proportionality constant. We are taking proportionality constant is our capital E. Okay, so stress is equal to capital E multiplied by strain. That capital E means what? Young's modulus, also called as modulus of elasticity. Okay, so how we can calculate the value of modulus of elasticity? Capital E is equal to stress divided by strain. Okay, I am explaining here. This is stress is denoted by sigma, is proportional to the strain is denoted by capital small e. Okay, so this is the proportionality as per our modulus of elasticity. Now we are introducing one proportionality constant, that is our capital E. So this is sigma is equal to capital E multiplied by strain. So we have to calculate this modulus of elasticity in terms of Newton per mm square. So how we can calculate this E? E is equal to stress upon strain. Okay. So this stress unit is again Newton per mm square. And what is the unit of strain? Obviously, there is a no unit. Okay, why? Because strain is the ratio of change of length divided by original length. So it is the ratio of length. Length get cancelled. So this unit is no unit. Okay. So what is the unit for modulus of elasticity? Newton per mm square. So also we can calculate the modulus of elasticity for Mylsteel bar. Okay. So this is the very important graph for tensile strength of Mylsteel bar. Okay. Now I am taking strain on x-axis and stress on y-axis. Okay. Stress unit is Newton per mm square. So during performance, we can measure the magnitude of force acting on the particular bar. Okay. Also, we know the diameter of this bar. So with the help of this diameter, we can calculate the area. So force upon area is equal to stress. For every reading, okay, for every stress reading, we can calculate the value of stress. Clear? Similarly, for every reading, we know the change of length. We can measure the deformation on the measuring unit from UTM, and we know the original length of the bar. So we can calculate the value of strain also. Okay, but in our UTM, this is our digitalized UTM machine. So directly we will get the graph for stress and strain. Okay, we will not draw directly this graph. It is already made by the given by the machine. Clear? So this is strain stress. Now these are the some important points where you will get from the Mylsteel bar here. Okay. First one is the point E. What is the point A? Point A means this point. This is our proportionality limit. Okay. What is the property of Mylsteel bar? Obviously, if you are applying some force and after some time, if we lose the force, okay. If in this case, this whatever the material of Mylsteel bar after losing the force, if it gets in same position, that point called as proportional limit. Means if this is our origin, okay, if you are applying the strain and at the same time if again stress increases, so up to this point proportional limit is constant. Means after losing the force, this whatever the actual length of the Mylsteel bar, after losing the force we will get same length. Okay, means it regains their original length in same position after losing the force. Okay, this point called as proportional limit. Okay, now this is the elastic limit. Obviously after that if we will increasing the force, that material in the form of something elastic limit. Okay, so this point we consider as the elastic limit. Now we have 2 points here, upper yielding point and lower yielding point. Okay, means in this particular point that material converted into something plastic limit. Okay, up to this A and B we have the material in the form of elastic limit. Means after losing the force it regains its original shape. Okay, but this is our yielding point, means we converted into different property. Okay, so this is the C and D considered as a changing the property of material which is converted into elastic to the pass. Okay. Now this is next point E, ultimate stress point. So in this case, we will get the ultimate strength of the particular bar. Okay, means if you draw the tangent, okay, so it gives the maximum stress of the particular material. Clear? Again, if you are increasing the force, obviously any material having some maximum strength, okay, means it is designed for maximum load. Clear? So if you are increasing the load again, so obviously after some time it will fail. So this F is the breaking point. Clear? So what do you mean by A? A means the proportional limit. What do you mean by B? B is the elastic limit. What do you mean by C? C means the upper yield point. D is the lower yielding point. E means what? Ultimate stress point. Means in that case we will get the maximum stress of the particular given material, given sample. And F is the lastly breaking point. We can measure this diameter with the help of our vernier scale. Clear? So I already measured the diameter, okay, and diameter is our 12 mm. Now I already told about gauge length, okay. Gauge length is the 5 times the diameter. Clear? So I am taking this is the okay, this is our total bar, okay. I am taking this is the center of the bar, okay. Now as per calculation, 5 times the diameter, that is 5 multiplied by 12, that is 60 mm, okay, means this is the center, so we can take 30 mm towards left and 30 mm towards right, okay. So this total distance is now we have 60 mm. So for this given bar, what is our gauge length? Gauge length for this bar is 60 mm, okay. After that we will fix this both the ends to the UTM machine, and we will apply the gradual load with the help of loading unit. Clear? We will see. Okay, this is our upper jack and this is our movable jack. Okay, now Praveen sir setting the mild steel bar here. So it consists of some gauges here. Okay, and we have some locking arrangement at this front side. So we fix the sample. Okay, now here Praveen sir fixed the sample at upper jack as well as movable jack here. Okay, now this is the fixed in this jack is in fixed condition. Okay, if you have to apply the tensile force on the mysil bar, we can apply the tensile force with the help of this jack. Okay, with the help of this movable jack. So if we'll apply the gradual loading, so we can apply with the help of this movable jack. So this movable jack moves in downward direction. So if it moves in downward direction, so at this particular sample, it's subjected to something tensile force. Clear? Now we will start our loading. See the loading as well as displacement.
As of the bus pinner.
Now this upper jack in fixed condition, and this movable jack moves in downward direction. So we applied something gradual loading. So we required some time for failure of this material. Now we increase the load up to 13 kilometers, and for 13 kilometer displacement of the bar is 3 mm. So we can draw one graph for this displacement versus load. Okay, we required near about 50 kilonewton force for failure of this steel bar. So again, we have to wait up to the 50 kilonewton. Now it's 20 kilonewton. For 20 kilonewton, the displacement shows by the machine is 4 mm. So after some time, we will see at the center something ball and cup shaped figure. Now it's 30 kilonewton. For 30 kilonewton, it shows 5 mm displacement. Now reading is 40 kilometers. For that, we have displacement is 6.5 mm. Now we will see the material. So, Loading is 45 kilonewton load. Displacement is 9.4 mm. Okay. Now reading is 48 kilonewton. For that displacement is 11 mm. Now loading is 50 kilonewton. For that displacement is 12 mm. Now reading is 55 kilonewton. For that displacement is 15 mm. So obviously, if you will increasing the load, there is a something elongation in the bar. That's why for every reading, elongation is different and it is in increasing order. Now our bar is in the form of plastic limit because the loading is 60 kilonewton and suddenly we can see the displacement is rises up to 22. Means it loses their plasticity limit, elasticity limit. Okay, now we can see the cup and cone type figure here. So at top point, okay, the maximum load carried by the material is 60 kilonewton. Uh, Now at the top we can see the reduction in the diameter. Okay, now okay, this is the final breaking point. Okay, so here we can see the something cup and ball type something figure here. Okay, so at this particular point we have to measure the change of diameter at failure point. Clear? Okay, now we are measuring the change of length with the help of vernier scale. Obviously, we marked some gauge length point, so it will elongate due to loading. So our change of length we can calculate with the help of elongated length minus original length, and that difference is our change of length. So okay, the our length gauge length initial gauge length is 60 mm, and now we measured our change of length is up to 75. Okay, so change of length is 75 and original length is 60 mm. So what is the increment? That is 15 mm. Okay, so now we measure the change of diameter. Our actual diameter is 12 mm, and our obviously due to some gradual loading diameter decreases. Okay, so this change of diameter is we have 7 mm. Okay, thank you.